Light your torches of cancer. I mean, your torches of freedom. Freedom torches. That's what it was called. Look it up. Also known as cigarettes. I'm reading this book called Hook Point by Brendan Kane. It's a good advertising marketing book talking about getting to your point quickly and how it's important and being creative with your points. So, it wasn't a case study, but he did mention in like maybe the 60s, Virginia Slims, specifically, not throwing them under the bus, but just mentioning them. They spoke with this marketer guy who is like a genius marketer, and they were like, hey, we're not selling enough cigarettes to women, so because it's only men that are buying the cigarettes. We want to also sell cigarettes to women, give them cancer sticks. But that's oh my gosh. But we want to sell women cigarettes as well. It's not just a man thing, because that was the concept. Kind of like cigars, and cigars still kind of have that perception in the world that like cigars are for a man to like, yeah. It's ironic, but it is very ironic. But especially from a gay man such as myself. But cigars are seen as like a more macho man thing to do. And I guess cigarettes were sort of taking that same perspective, and Virginia Slims was like, no, we also want to market to women. And the genius marketer they spoke with came up with the campaign to, especially at that time, I think the 60s, maybe 70s, came up with the campaign to say, hey, let's make it so that women's rights are a big thing going on right now, because they don't have a lot of rights. Still don't, but that's another story. But women don't have enough rights, and a lot of people are fighting for women's rights. So what we'll do, and I love this aspect of marketing. Yeah, it can be horrible how it shapes how people feel about things, but he was like, what we'll do is we'll present the cigarette as something fighting for women's rights. And at the Macy's Day Parade, we'll feature like the debutantes or women, or at the parade, the model women or whatever. And we'll give them all cigarettes, i.e. torches of freedom. And we will have them light their torches of freedom at the end of the parade and use it as a symbol of women's rights. And have them all light up as the cameramen and women are like, flick, pose for the camera now, flick, flick, flick. You know, as their photos are being taken, we'll have them all light up a cigarette at that very time, at that very moment. Have them all light up and present it as fighting for women's rights. Genius marketing campaign. And it worked. It worked. Women smoking cigarettes increased significantly in the coming years, and ultimately very significantly over all the years. And that worked because they used it for like, it's women's rights thing. Women need rights. And it's like, okay, so I'm divided, right? Because it's like, yes, women do need rights. Women do need equity. You know, black people need equity. Gay people need equity. A lot of people need equity. in our world, right? And it's like, granted, they did not know what we know about cigarettes today. That was not known back then. So I will say, okay, to that. And it's like, well, if you're using this thing that you don't know is actually a cancer agent that took my mommy from me, if you're using this thing and you don't know the inner evils to come from it, and just using it to represent that women need equity, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. And the fact that it actually benefited them very much, I think that's a good thing. I love how smart marketing, can make such changes. I love that. And Virginia Slims did it first. Light your torches of cancer. Your torches of freedom. Freedom torches. That's what it was called. Look it up. It's in the book, but look it up. Torches of freedom. Freedom torches. And that got women to start buying cigarettes in larger numbers. And I wonder if they would ever do something like that with cigars. Anyway, peace. Stay blessed.